someone was thinking about writing a book, is there any tips, tricks, recommendations, hard-learned lessons, war stories that you would give people?
Yes, 100%. I'll first start with the best resource I think that is out there, which is the book You Must Write a Book by Honorée Corder. She is brilliant. She partnered with Hal Elrod to expand his Miracle Morning series. So she has a course, she has a bunch of stuff. I just learned everything that I did from her book. So I wasn't investing in all these other things. And I think that's where some people can go wrong with the book thing, because again, most self-published authors sell 250 to 300 copies, which maybe will end up being $900 or $1,000. So you have to start with your budget in mind, and your first goal should just be to break even. So with Money Honey, I was scared to invest a lot of money because it wasn't about me making money in the first place, and I had no idea if it was going to be successful. So I spent under $600 to launch Money Honey. I had a good editor. Now, the place I went wrong, and I wish I had spent more money, was on the cover design. So it's sitting behind me. It's not a good cover. You want to know why? Because I try to design it myself, and I'm not a graphic designer. So I tell people, don't skimp out here, sort of like the property management thing. This is not where you want to be cheap. You have to have a good cover design. Now, the good news for me is I'm launching the second edition of Money Honey in September, so in about a couple weeks, and I have a totally new cover that is revamped and much more professional. But that's a huge mistake to avoid. Another thing for people to watch out for when they're first starting out is that I never would have expected publishing a book to be such a vulnerable thing, right? So I had done other things. I'd put myself out there and I'd promoted myself before, but it is putting your work out there to the public for other people to read and judge is so scary. And that's part of the reason I quit. I was overcome with self-doubt and imposter syndrome. And the more that I've talked about this and talked with other authors, everyone goes through this. Every creative artist, every author, every person launching a product or service, everyone goes through this stage of having intense fear. So I think just expecting that to happen and knowing how to kind of fight through it with logic and reason rather than giving into your emotions, that is really key for your success.
Yeah, I love that last point, because I think it translates to the social media side of things. And even with our podcast, for me, it was always, I'm starting as early as 24 and now 28, even still today, I'm like, why are people going to listen to me? Why does anybody care? And the thing that I realized, and I'm sure you resonate with this too, is, I don't think I'm, the best person that everybody should go to. Like, I'm the number one person in this field that they should listen to. Like, I'm not, 100% out of 100, but even if I'm 5% out of 100, there's people that are at levels 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 that I can at least help. So I may not be the right person or somebody that can listen to for everybody, but I know there's people that are, further in the beginning of the road and would like to do something similar or get there, that I can be helpful for. And I'm sure it was similar for you, where you talked about having those conversations with your family and friends, and you realize, like, hey, how come people don't understand this? And it was, you had done years of being a finance nerd, as you said, of understanding those things that other people didn't because they didn't enjoy it as much. And even if you weren't the finance expert of the entire world, there was still a ton of people you can help. Like you said, 15,000 people, that's not an insignificant amount of people that you helped. And even if it's just one, that's kind of the mindset you have to have.
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that, Chris, because if I had been starting out writing my book and I had told myself, well, I'm not Dave Ramsey, I'm not Susie Orman, and then just not, so then I could have talked myself out of writing the book completely. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. You don't have to be the number one expert in your field, but I truly believe that everyone has a unique voice and a unique gift they can share with the world. And mine happened to be writing about money in an entertaining way that really resonated with female millennials.
So I think you just nailed it at the end. Everybody has a unique thing. If you can, the way I look about real estate and the way I've always said this is that, the whole purpose of this was not, there's no monetary value that we get. It was, I wanted to create a country club for real estate investors where you didn't have to pay to get in, but it was a platform where if someone heard a guest and they really wanted to make that next, we'll make the introduction. It was a place where you can learn. And I shit on all three of us earlier by saying, don't take advice from someone that doesn't know what they're doing, whether they're 27 or 33, take advice from people that have gone through this process before. And I said that, yeah, we're all younger. I'm 33, and you guys are sub 30. It has nothing to do with the age, right? If you can resonate with one 18-year-old or one 70-year-old man or woman that listens to your podcast or read your book, that's a win, right? Yes, you sell some copies of your book, and that's awesome that you make that money. But the intention behind the book, I think you said it earlier, was if I could help one person, and if you can help one person achieve something, that's more like substantial, and you feel better by someone hearing that story or reading that book and being successful than it would be if you made $100,000 a month on your book. That would be awesome, but that means there'd be so much success from people reading that book, it would correlate 100%. So yes, whether you're the best at what you do or the worst at what you do, that your story still should be told, and no one should be scared to tell their story, because listen, people are going to talk shit behind everybody's back. That's just the world that we live in. Who cares, right? Do what you do. And if you can help one person by knowing nothing or knowing everything, it doesn't matter, because in the end of the day, you got to wake up and look in the mirror yourself. It doesn't matter what people think. And I'm lucky enough that my personality, I don't care. It's hard for some people to realize that. You just got to put yourself out there, and whatever happens, good, bad, or indifferent. But no one should be scared about it. Everyone goes through it. But in the end of the day, it's irrelevant. As long as you can help someone out, that's the name of the game. So I think you illustrated that beautifully by explaining that point. And I think that everyone here has done it by putting themselves out there in the various ways.
Yeah. It's funny too, because I think what's important is like the context in which you talk as well. None of us are sitting here and talking like we have every single answer. Like, we're not talking about like, oh, here's what we should be doing in the COVID economy. None of us have any idea. I think it's the way in which you present yourself. And it was funny when you first just said, I don't care if you're the best or the worst. I said, well, I don't know if I want to hear from the worst, but then I actually thought about it, and I said, I would actually love to hear from the worst real estate investor in the country that's continuing to do deals, because you would learn so much. And if they just, as long as they weren't trying to like put on airs, like it would actually be kind of cool to be like the worst real estate investor. Now that I think about it, it would be like a really cool branding marketing. Maybe that's the next goal. I can be the worst, but like imagine how much you'd learn from that person.
Yes.
Like you could instantly flip that into a career of, you'd probably be a New York Times bestseller. I'm the worst real estate investor. You marketed yourself that way. So if anybody out there, you think you suck at real estate investing and stuff like that, maybe you're the next big marketing bookseller and you just don't know it yet. But yeah, I think it's all about how you present it.